So you've got a second book of Samuel for me. Yes, sir, I do. Oh, God. Let me take a slug of listening juice before we get into it. I realize you're not excited about this, sir. Nope. But there's nothing like a depressant to chase the blues away. Good to know. So, we pick up right where 1 Samuel left off. Fantastic. And David gets word from some unnamed Amalekite that Saul and Jonathan have died in their battle with the Philistines. Oh, David must be so happy that his longtime nemesis is finally out of the picture. Not really. Despite Saul's multiple attempts to murder David, David is so angry about Saul's death that he has the Amalekite executed on the spot. Oh, he killed the messenger. That wasn't very nice. Well, there is a bit more to it. See, the Amalekite personally administered the coup de grace at Saul's request. Really? I thought Saul offed himself by falling on his own sword. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Whoopsie. Maybe I could reconcile these conflicting scenarios, or justify why the Amalekite would claim he'd administered the killing blow if he, in fact, had not. Yeah, but that could take like a few minutes of effort. We wouldn't want you to strain yourself. Best not to make a fuss. That works. So David is very sad about this whole turn of events, and he sings a little song about how sad he is. Oh, what fun. Uh-huh. And I'm sure people are going to love this epic line I wrote about Saul and Jonathan's demise. How the mighty have fallen. That's a bit grand, isn't it? As a king, Saul was a bitter disappointment to God. And what did Jonathan do to distinguish himself beyond proving to David that his love for him was better than that of a woman? Well, here's the interesting thing about authentic writing. I don't know how to do authentic writing. Well, you just keep throwing that unjustified hyperbole around like a monkey with its own feces then. Oh, I will. Nice. And with Saul finally out of the way, David is anointed king over Judah. Wasn't David anointed already by Samuel? Oh yeah, he was. So, exactly how does this anointing thing work? Inconsistently. Oh, yeah, sometimes a prophet will do it at God's direction, sometimes a group of people will do it on their own, and then right in this book, a former army commander gives it a whirl. An army commander? Saul's son, Ishbosheth, is somehow appointed king over Israel by Saul's former commander of the army, Abner. Oh. Is God not weighing in on the king-making anymore? He seems to be sitting this round out. Well, okay then. So now that I've set up the next opposing factions as Judah and Israel, I thought it'd be fun to devote the next chapter to the wackiest fight we've yet to see in this holy book. Oh, I tingled with anticipation. Awesome. So 12 guys from Israel square off against 12 guys from Judah. Oh, just like that it starts. Okay, so do you have them setting any ground rules? I mean, what are the stakes here? Unclear. Huh. Yeah, the leader of the Israelites just says, let's have some of the young men get up and fight hand-to-hand in front of us. And the leader of the Judeans says, all right, let them do it. Such compelling dialogue. Please proceed. So these guys all grab their opponent by his head, and then they all stab each other in the side and fall down. Wow. Well, it sounds like a fight of that nature would last all of about 3 seconds. I know, right? I'm going to describe it as fierce. Wouldn't better adjectives for this fight be brief and asinine? Hey, shut up. So next one of the Judeans, Asahel, starts chasing the Israelite commander, Abner. Why? I don't know. Well, okay then. And this Asahel guy is a very fast runner. I mean, he's as fleet as a gazelle. So it's going to be hard for Abner to escape a violent encounter. Oh no, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. No, really? Yep. It takes Asahel so long to catch up to Abner that they have a nice little conversation during the chase. A conversation. Abner turns around and asks Asahel if that is indeed him, Asahel, chasing him at that particular moment. Oh, does Asahel have a witty reply for him? Oh yes, he replies, it is. Oh, wow. Then Abner says, turn aside, to the right or to the left. Take on one of the young men and strip him of his weapons. Is that what Asahel does? Nope, he just continues the chase. Amazing that Abner can talk this long while being chased by someone who's as fleet as a gazelle. It is amazing, isn't it? Especially when Abner continues the conversation by saying, stop chasing me. Why should I strike you down? How could I look your brother Joab in the face? That's very considerate of him, and what top-notch breath control. Sure is, but Asahel finally closes the gap, and Abner runs him through with his spear, butt end first, clear through and out his back. Wait, what? Abner drives the blunt end of a spear clear through a human body. There's no way. Pardon me? There's no way someone could drive a blunt piece of wood all the way through a human body in the manner you describe. Well, that's what I wrote. Doesn't matter that you wrote it. It's patently absurd. Look, I'm going to need you to get all the way off my back about the impossibility of driving what is essentially a broom handle all the way through the meat and sinew of a human body. Okay, sure, let me get off that thing. Great. So, I'm just curious, is there some reason why he didn't just use the pointy bit at the other end? Ah! No. Wow. So after this episode, the House of David continues to get stronger and stronger, while the House of Saul continues to get weaker and weaker. Kind of been the theme for a while now. Oh yeah, you can never make the point enough. Think actually you can. And then, a bunch of stuff happens. Stuff? Abner gets killed by David's army commander Joab after Abner arranges for David to be made king over Israel. Back up a second. Why is Abner, who is the head of Saul's army, making rival David the king over Israel? Apparently it's because he's annoyed that Saul's son Ishbosheth accused him of sleeping with Saul's concubine. There's so much to unpack there. It's a colossal mess, to be sure. So, has Abner been sleeping with Saul's concubine? Unclear. Huh. But the accusation that he was makes Abner so angry that he immediately pledges to turn Israel over to David. Oh, turning a country over to a rival because you're angry at being accused of sleeping with a concubine is tight. Yeah. So Abner did a good thing for David, making him king over Israel. Why does Joab want him dead? Remember when Abner killed Asahel? I do. And remember that Joab is Asahel's brother. Hey, that actually makes sense. But Joab killing Abner makes David mad because Joab wasn't given permission to do that. It's an unholy mess, isn't it? This whole book is a total shit show. And in the middle of all this, David wants his wife Michal back. Michal? I don't understand. Did she go somewhere? Her dad gave her to another man back in 1 Samuel. Wait, who owns these females anyways? Their fathers or their husbands? And what was the reason Michal was given to another man? I don't care. And doesn't David have a crap ton of wives and concubines already? He does, but he paid 100 Philistine foreskins for Michal, so, there's that. Boy, it's times like these that I really see what a valuable resource this holy book is going to be in aiding human relationships for millennia to come. Oh yeah. What other nuggets of wisdom do you have for me? Next time we'll be covering one of the most glorious examples of God's long-suffering patience and abundant mercy to be found in this holy book. Oh, sounds delightful. Well, there is a bit more to it. See, the Amalekite personally administered the coup de grace at Saul's request. And David gets word from some unnamed Amalekite that Jonathan... Fight Saul and Jonathan. Gosh. Shit. And David gets word from some unnamed Amalekite that Saul and Jonathan have died in their battle with the Philistines. That would work.